Gang. I ain't gonna lie, gang. It's 12 o'clock. When I got home last night from work, I did not go back out, gang. Fuck no. I did not go back out to the club. Them niggas went all the way to Miami, gang. Went to the crib. Went to sleep. Nigga. I need my sleep, gang. And I gotta be up at 4. It's 12. About to watch this shit real quick, though. And I'm about to spark up again, gang. If this shit really blows my eye, it's okay. I'm just spark up immediately after. Or should I wait until the morning? Like at 4? Nah, fuck that. I'm sparking right now. I ain't gonna lie. Let me watch this shit, though.
Has changed me forever. And admittedly, I've never felt as many emotions on a free clean as I did on this one. 11 animals were trapped
Free
here.
clean?
8 dogs,
You're not
3
getting
cats.
paid?
The home has no
Holy
running
shit.
water, no heating, and very limited electricity. The owner lives with his partner elsewhere, but he returns back to feed the animals every other night. Now I'm gonna point out the obvious. All of the brown stuff you can see on screen is feces. All of the moisture you can see on screen is urine. And the majority of the rooms were all completely inaccessible due to the amount of rubbish piled inside them. Because the owner lives elsewhere, the animals don't go outside when they need the toilet. In fact, they can't even see the outside because all of the blinds and curtains are drawn. When I first arrived at this free clean and pulled up on the street, I didn't even need to look at the house numbers on the doors to know which house I was due to enter. I could smell this house before I even saw it. Neighbors later told me that they'd heard the animals crying day after day, night after night for almost 2 years. And despite countless reports being made to the police and to the RSPCA, it seemed like nothing was ever done to rescue these animals and remove them from this home. I actually completed this clean 7 months ago, and the reason you're only seeing it now is because it took a long time until I could physically and mentally bring myself to rewatch some of this footage. It goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. This clean was genuinely really upsetting. There were things inside this property that I will never forget. And I know that sounds very ominous, so before I show or say anything else, I just want to reassure all of you watching that all of the animals that were in this home were removed and they are now safe. I've also decided, after a lot of back and forth and, let's be frank, half a year of contemplating about this clean, to not show scenes that are unnecessarily upsetting. Of course, we're going to discuss the resident and exactly what led to this situation, but I want to add a disclaimer that this is a real person, this is a real situation, and it is complicated. Nothing about this clean was black and white, and I just want you to bear that in mind before we properly begin. Okay, enough yapping, let's get into it, and we're gonna start this free clean like we always do on day 1. When we first arrived at the house, we could barely see anything. Like I said before, every curtain was shut, every window was covered, and because the fuse had tripped, there was no electricity either. The problem was, the fuse box itself was trapped behind a ceiling-high wall of rubbish in the hallway. So our first job was ripping down the curtains, letting some daylight in so we could finally see what we were doing, and then clearing a path to that fuse box so we could get the power switched back on. What we weren't expecting to find was what appeared to be an endless supply of animal cages. And I'm leaving this in because it's the first indication of the type of person that the resident living here was. It was very clear that this man loved animals and over the years had owned a lot of them. We weren't just finding dog crates, we were finding cages for rats, cages that once contained flying animals. The list felt endless, but I'll get back to that in a sec. Because when we finally gained access to that fuse box and got the electricity back on, we ran into our next issue. There was so much stuff inside the house that there physically wasn't enough standing room for all of us to work in there at once. But with sunlight on our side, we were actually able to see that the living room had 2 huge sliding doors leading to the garden. If we could get them open, then we could start moving the horde outside and sort everything there instead where we had more space. Slight problem with the garden, it was completely overgrown with thick brambles, but while cutting them back, we made another discovery that changed the entire clean. That's right, bestie, hidden underneath all of the overgrowth was a back gate. And a little froggy friend, which I've since named Derek. Honestly,
I'm chilling. I'm actually tired. That's how I'm doing. How are you doing? I'm tired. I'm always tired, aren't I? I gotta wake up in a couple hours. I'm about to smoke. Actually, I'm about to smoke in like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. It's gonna take me 5 minutes to smoke this. And I'm gonna come back, then stream.
it's the little things in life, and seeing that gate was a game changer. It basically meant that instead of carrying the rubbish out through the front of the property where neighbors could see everything, we now knew we had a private way to remove the items through the back of the house instead. You may notice there is a bunch of people on this, which is very rare. Normally it is just me and Harry, but not this time. We had Sylvia and
Bro, why am I watching
from
this
Scrub
game?
Daddy.
Wait, why am I watching this, bro? I gotta be bored, okay? What am I watching that? Niggas really cleaning and shit. I might be fried.
A family had been hearing strange noises around their house that they couldn't explain for days. So they set up ring cameras around the property, and one night they captured something strange.
Now, where I heard some shit in my house the other day, gang. Yo, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch like the first 5 minutes, and then if it's trash, I'm about to go get high, and then come back, cause there's no way. Cause I'm not gonna get scared when I'm high, gang. Tell you, I'm not like, bro. No, I'm not gonna get scared. It's not scary. You see that thing floating? Am I tripping? Whoa. Saw that. You saw that? It was right here. I missed it. What happened?
A strange glowing orb is seen hovering in the room, and the moment it gets closer to the resting dog, the dog suddenly jumps up and quickly runs away, clearly startled by the orb. A few nights later, they capture the orb again, moving around the same area.
W dog. Oh shit, he's walking up to the camera.
This time, after the orb disappears, they get a notification on their outdoor ring camera and see this.
Now bro said fuck that, he's leaving. Nigga leaving.
In the corner, a dark figure can be seen coming out of the house to the outside before heading back in. One of the dogs notices it and barks after it comes out, which seems to be what makes it go back inside.
Nah bro said, oh shit.
To this day,
oh shit, they got a dog outside. I gotta come back. Damn, so bro scared of dogs. Damn, gang, you a ghost. You scared of dogs, gang? Are you serious?
They have no idea what's going on around their house, but continue to capture these strange sightings. Hiding. On June the 3rd of 2026, a woman named Elena captured something strange that she can't explain on her CCTV camera set up on her property.
She rich.
She lives in a farmhouse in a secluded area far away from other houses. But on one night, she heard a loud sudden bang outside her house.
Oh,
so
shit.
her husband went outside to check where it was.
You both got a
but
gun.
as she reviews the camera footage, she sees this.
Oh, no, she got it. No, you got it. I don't even know what I'm looking at. No, I don't even want to know. No, you got it.
A strange light object or thing is seen moving, almost blending in with the tree. And if you look closely, whatever it is also appears to hide behind the tree when the husband comes out to inspect the noise.
How do you see him hide behind the
husband didn't
tree?
see or hear anything strange after going outside, but after seeing this on the footage, they are left with questions. Just what is this? And did it make the sudden noise they heard outside? Let me know what you think.
That is weird though, I ain't gonna lie.
Inside the RV.
How you explain
The
that?
following video was taken on June the 1st of 2026 and is the only video they have uploaded. Although the uploader mentions it isn't the first time this has happened. He lives alone and it's late at night when he notices something deeply unsettling coming from his RV. Watch closely.
Something's inside there?
Vivo solo en mi casa, salí para afuera y la puerta se empezó a mover sola. Miren, pero nadie me cree cuando les digo.
Maybe someone's in there.
No hay nadie ahorita ahí. Vi que se asomó algo y...
Nah, bro, speaking Spanish, so like I already know what it is, gang. Man, you got it, gang.
Ese es mi perro, pero mi perro no puede alcanzar a hacer eso. Se apagaron las luces y están prendidas.
Oh, nah, you got it, gang. Yeah.
As he zooms in, a dark shadow figure can be seen entering
nah, yeah,
the
you got it,
RV
gang, you got it.
before it comes back and peeks out as if it noticed the man record her peek out again. Then the lights turn off, and right before the video ends, the figure can be seen through the top window.
Nah, I did not see that.
watching
I
him
didn't
before
even
moving
see
out of
that.
sight. Terrified, he doesn't dare to go inside to office work. On June the 7th of 2026, an office worker was working around 6:40 p.m. with another colleague just finishing up their shift before closing and leaving for the night. She gets up and goes to look at the report at the next desk along with her colleague when the security camera captures something chilling.
Bro, what? Then hurry up, gang. What am I looking at?
The two co-workers are startled when the chair at the back started moving
Oh, yeah,
and
now
even
you
the
got it.
table lifted slightly due to the force.
Now
After
you got
that,
it.
they ran out of the office frightened. Many viewers also noticed that in the mirror reflection, you can see the computer screen the girl was using also changed to
I
another
did see that.
window. Even if the
I did
desk
see that.
moved, something would have had to click on the mouse button as well as move it in order to change the screen displayed. After regaining their composure in the next room, one of the girls comes back to collect her things and get ready to leave for the night, even asking out loud for forgiveness, believing that the office is haunted.
Third world country?
The girl being on edge, gets startled easily after what happened. They also mention that this isn't the first time strange things have happened. So is the office haunted? I'll let you make your own conclusions.
Are you serious?
The trailer. A woman had recently lost her grandfather in 2024, and he owned a trailer and passed away inside it. But ever since his passing, it has been left abandoned and nobody lives there anymore.
I don't even want to smoke
Now
anymore,
the girl
man.
and her friend decided to drive up to the trailer and check it out. But as they arrived, they heard a strange squeaking sound off the floor, which is the exact same sound it used to make when her grandfather would walk to his room. So they decided to stop and record it for a bit. Take a look.
You're out of that window and Grandpa's.
Dude, look.
I don't like it.
I see it. Right into the house.
Yeah, now I go pee.
You think somebody's in there? No, like right into the house with the car.
Oh.
What?
As they record the window where they heard the noise, they suddenly panic after noticing a creepy pale face suddenly peeking out at them. Creeped out, they just up and leave the place. Now, no facial features can be made out on the face. However, just before they left, she took a picture. After comparing the picture to a photo of her grandfather, she couldn't believe the resemblance. So is her grandfather's soul somehow bound to his trailer where he once lived and died? Or is this something else entirely? Let me know.
Why don't she go inside
The
there?
reflection. This girl recently moved into a new apartment with her boyfriend, but started experiencing.
I'll be right back again. I'm not about to smoke though, because if I do, I'm not gonna be able to sleep until like later. I gotta be up in like 2 hours. Be right back. And my shit lagging too, bro. Holy shit. Nigga. Well, I was fucking streaming, nigga. I got fucking food and shit, right? Come on, bro. Nigga, I got fucking eats, right? Nigga, look at the eats I got, man. Some slight shit, man. It tastes good, though. Some rice. See? Mm-hmm. 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 Got the munchies. It's 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning.
Strange paranormal events inside shortly afterwards. From the lights flickering to voices, knocking sounds, and objects moving on their own. One night, her boyfriend is at work when this happens.
Lo rompebolas se pone cada vez que llegamos a la sesión.
Oh yeah, no, fuck no, you got it. Don't knock on my door, fuck nigga.
Nadie entra a este placar. Ustedes 20 veces se los he mostrado, creo. No hay chance de que alguien entre acá. ¿Cómo les gusta romper las bolas? Es increíble.
She checks the closet where the knocking sounds are coming from, but there's nobody there. Later on, she's cooking a pie when she starts hearing noises in the other room.
Y estoy sola. No hay
That shit too dark, man.
Miren.
Shit too dark.
Qué pesado, hermano. Qué ganas de romper las bolas que tiene.
Yeah, I
The
ain't gonna
cutlery
lie.
hanging starts
Did this
moving
shit
and
ever happen
clattering
in
against
America?
each other.
It is crazy.
On another night, she's returning home late with her boyfriend when they see something unsettling through their window.
Recién llegamos a la sesión y en la pieza, la cual estaba apagada, está las luces ahí prendidas y no sé si alcanzan a ver esa silueta, sombra, no sé qué.
Red LED
carajo es,
lights.
pero hay alguien parado en la pieza y estamos
Es mí.
entre nosotros dos acá. Miren, para que vean que de verdad no hay nadie, subimos lo más rápido que pudimos y no hay nadie en la casa.
What looks like a dark figure can be seen on the left side of the window, but the moment they enter the room, there's nothing there, nor is there any object in view that could possibly create that
Holy
shape from
shit.
the angle it's in. The following night, she's watching TV in bed, when their bedroom security camera captures something horrifying. Watch closely.
Llegar como que ya con eso. No, me dice, mira, esto es algo serio, tengo que hacerlo. Bueno, adivina dónde terminó.
In the reflection of the mirror pointing right towards her bed, a dark shadow figure can be seen moving before quickly vanishing. But there doesn't appear to be anything seen moving in the room at the same time. Because of this, they stick a camera on both sides watching the mirror and the windows. When one of them captures this.
What? What is the capture, bro? The reflection. Niggas crouching. Holy
A
shit,
dark
niggas
figure
crouching.
appears once again, this time in the reflection of the window. Keep in mind that their apartment is well above ground floor, so there couldn't be someone outside the window. But
Nah,
as
word.
always, I'll let you be the judge.
He's crouching.
Devil's Cauldron.
Huh?
A man by the name Tech Rax went to explore a natural hot spring in the Nevada desert known as Diana's Punch Bowl, but is more commonly known by its ominous nickname, the Devil's Cauldron. While there, he decides to conduct an experiment.
We're gonna use a drone to take this iPhone up and drop it into the hole.
His plan was to attach a phone to a drone with a fishing line so he can reel it down and test its durability, while also taking a look what's down there.
What the hell is he talking about? This curry go hit me.
After his first try, nothing strange happens, so he hits record again and decides to lower it deeper. only to be horrified of what he captures.
So again, it's fully working. It is on. I'm gonna hit record again on this iPhone 11. Ooh, that was close.
It heard yelling. Niggas have drowned there.
What sounds like tormented screams are heard coming from deep within the Devil's Cauldron, which
Damn.
weren't heard the first time.
So I wanted to include this one little segment here as well, guys. I noticed after listening to the audio of the last drop test that went into the water, the audio sounded pretty eerie, and I wanted to include kind of the unaltered version here. So I have the clip here. It was 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and I edited, you know, for the actual video, because it's just a lot of talking, and then the drone is flying, and then I'll show you guys the actual drop here.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
And then right there, you could hear, it definitely sounds like some yelling. It's really weird, guys. I don't know what to think of it. Especially since the first dip there was no noise at all.
No, you can hear some noise.
And then the recording actually stopped right here, which is also really weird. But I just wanted to show that, guys, as proof. Like, I didn't edit the audio or anything.
Some people believe it was a technical issue due to extreme heat, as the temperatures range from 140 degrees Fahrenheit to over 200. However, local legends say that indigenous tribes viewed the Devil's Cauldron as a spiritual void for great spirits and lost souls. So given the look of this steep hole and its name, the Devil's Cauldron, and hearing the collective screams that sounds like people in agony, what do you think it could be? Cat senses. Jack lives in an old 1920s house and also has a lot of old antique items and collectibles. One day he suddenly hears his cats meowing strangely and crashing into the bedroom door to get his attention. Knowing that this is unusual behavior for his cats, he pulls his phone out to record.
Right guys, whipping the phone out. These have been meowing
that house,
crazy
nigga.
by the bedroom door, like crashing into it as if trying to get my attention. What is it? What you want? Something going on? Hey? Hey? What's going on? What's going on? What is it, guys? Whoa, it's cold in here.
Why the fuck you sound like that?
Hey, what is it, buddy?
Nigga say it's cold in there.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
What kind of meow was that, nigga?
Good idea. What the hell was that? Hello? Is anyone in here? Hello? Show yourself. What? Are you doing this?
Old ass house.
Oh my god. There's like a wind. Oh my god, what is that? What is that? The room is so friggin' cold as well. Come here, guys. Come here, guys.
What the fuck kind of cat is
that? Look, it's swinging. I have not been near it. There's nobody else here. I'll show you as best I can.
Bro, what kind of accent is this? Scotland?
What? None of this makes any sense.
I know, bro, it doesn't.
How can this stuff be happening?
How can this stuff be happening?
What?
Holy shit.
What fell? What is that? What?
His cats seem to meow a lot, like they are trying to tell him something. Then a paper on the table flies off and a strange wind is seen blowing the leaves of the flower. But as he turns around, there's nothing there that could be causing it. Then he hears another meow and a bang. then finds the chandelier moving on its own before one of the cats gets startled by something falling by itself. So just what did the cat see?
But I watched the video though, so why are you repeating it?
Madeline works as a certified nursing assistant at a hospital that provides hospice care. Most of the patients are elderly people who are no longer able to take care of themselves or require extensive support due to some of their illnesses like dementia. Madeline works the night shift and is documenting a strange occurrence for her partner to see. One of the call lights in a room is turned on for the third time. The call light is the button patients press when they need assistance. However, there was nobody staying in this particular room, but she still has to go and turn it off. This is what she captured.
Alright, it's just for documentation. Proof to show my babe when I get home. This is the third time. See that bathroom light going off? This is the third time in my 12-hour shift.
Bro, trolling you, that's why.
Mind you.
He just trolling you.
Mind you.
Wait, why my light turned on?
Empty room.
Hold on. Why my light just turned on? Hold up. Hold up. What you mean? Hold up. What you mean my light just turned on, bro? What you mean, bro? Oh, I'm getting trolled again. Yeah, I'm getting trolled. I can't turn my light back on. I'm getting trolled again. It's okay though. I guess my light turned off too. What does that mean? My shit on it too?
Fucking scared right now. I swear to God, though. No one wanted to come down with me, fucking assholes.
Oh wow.
Oh hell no. I'm so scared to go in there.
Bro, just go ahead in there and turn it off, bro.
I gotta ask my coworker to watch me. Okay, watch me go in this room, please. I don't want to go in there by myself. I'm scared. Watch me go in there, okay? Oh, this old lady.
You whispering. You're literally whispering.
I know, but watch me, because I'm scared. There ain't nobody in here. Call light's up there.
Genuinely scared, she calls another co-worker to watch her as she enters the room, as if she has experienced something strange inside before. As she goes to stop the call light, she sees nobody there, but a faint voice can be heard.
Ain't nobody in here.
Nigga.
A disembodied voice is heard whispering, "Help me," which doesn't.
It goes in there with me too. There has to be, because my light just turned off. My light. But you know what? I'm so at peace that I didn't even care. Like, if there is, I don't care. You feel me? Like, he can enjoy some of my food too. Just don't eat all of it. You feel me?
Doesn't seem to be a coincidence, considering the fact that nobody is currently.
If anything, me and the ghost about to go smoke. You feel me? So I'm chilling.
Staying in this room, and the call light has gone off 3 times, which is literally a way for patients to call for help. Then suddenly this voice says, "Help me," as she enters the room. So could it be the voice of a previous patient who passed away inside this room? We may never know. If you have any video recommendations, you can send them over.
Damn, the video's over? That was not scary. I'm supposed to be scared, bro. That was not scary at all. It's not good. Let me watch this. You know what? I'm gonna go smoke, then watch this. Cause I wanna see if I think this is true. I mean, it says that's true, but let me see. I'll be right back. What am I eating? Oh, shit. I'm eating some rice. I forgot. Rice, curry goat, I think some chicken, and then some vegetables. You know what I mean? My light turned off, so you can barely even see it. But I'm fucking that rice up. And there's pasta too. For me? Mmm. Casper vibes. I love Casper. I wouldn't mind having, you know what I'm saying, a little ghost friend. Of course. I wouldn't even need a ghost friend. Like, he gonna see me do the same thing every day. Like, just go to work, come home, like boring. I barely even play the game anymore. It's straight. Bro, why is my light not working? Like, who's trolling me? I gotta fix this real quick. Hold on. This is crazy. All right, there you go. Oh my gosh, bro. All right, there you go. I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. It looks good. Oh no, it's delicious. This food is delicious. Like, I could have picked a better. Like, I could have picked a better, more time to. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I could have picked a better time to eat it. You know, right now. And that's not even my plate. Like, the name of the plate does not say Sean. It literally says Mo. Like, who the hell is Mo? My name is not Mo. This is not my plate. Like, I'm sorry, bro. But whoever's plate this is, bro, Mo, it tastes good, gang. This food tastes good. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but I'll be right back, though. If we talk about conspiracy theories, this about to get deep. Oh, damn. Poor Mo. Nah, Mo be fine. He'll be straight. Damn. You know, I just realized though, it's been one day and my voice is still not back in. Cause yesterday, I went to the water park yesterday, or 2 days ago now. Today's a new day, right? Went to water park Saturday or Friday, right? I lost my voice. That's why my voice sounds like this right now. It sounds weird. And I don't like it, gang. Losing my voice sounds weird. Feel me? Like, maybe I'm bugging. I'm bugging. It's not that bad. I don't know. I did. Oh, you were listening.
A top secret military program recruited people with impossible abilities. A scientist discovered something toxic in a product used by millions of Americans. People who suspected these things were just laughed at. Then the truth was revealed.
I'm not gonna lie. I made sure I made sure that I was ready for the water park. All I gotta say is listen, if you're not ready, do not go. Meaning, if you're not gonna go on the rides, do not go. If you like, I'm not gonna say like if you don't look good, but like, you feel me? If you're not up to par, do not go, gang. Like, it's some simple. Like, you feel me? I made sure that like, I'm ready. You feel me? I'm ready. Like the build is ready. Oh, so you were paying attention, okay? My voice sounds fine. Nah, I think it's because I need a drink. That's probably why. But nah, my voice is cracking. You don't hear it cracking? My voice definitely is cracking. It feels weird. I don't know. But nah, the ratio wasn't. It what? How do you was paying attention? It was. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. You right.
Are insane conspiracy theories that turned out true. Part 2. Make sure you guys watch the full video because I'm going to link part 1 at the end. But you don't have to watch it in any particular order. It would mean the world if you guys subscribe, and I will do the best that I can to put out the best videos I possibly can for you. I'm Visual Venture and you are awesome. The psychic spy conspiracy.
Don't ask niggas to subscribe.
Most wars are won with weapons, soldiers, and strategy. But in the 1970s, conspiracy can for you. I'm Visual Venture and you are awesome. The psychic spy conspiracy. Most wars are won with weapons, soldiers, and strategy. But in the 1970s, the US military tried to use human superpowers to fight a war. They secretly recruited psychics and fortune tellers. People who heard the rumors didn't believe it. But years later, declassified documents revealed everything. Here's how it started. In the early 1970s, the CIA was worried about the Soviet Union. Reports claimed the Soviets were spending millions of dollars.
I'm not gonna lie. This is history. It's like, you know what I'm saying, information. But do you see me right now? I'm fried. Do you really think I really care about this? Like, do we even care about this, bro? I want to see like a real good conspiracy. I don't care about this. Like, I don't care. They use a fortune teller. Like, okay, like okay. I gotta find it. Let me see.
Terry tried to use human superpowers to fight a war. They secretly recruited psychics and fortune tellers. People who heard the rumors didn't believe it. But years later, declassified documents revealed everything. Here's how it started. In the early 1970s, but America's government could own Americans who questioned in Maryland, locked in a room and given a series of tests. Their charges, they claimed, then they were
information that saved lives that couldn't be found in any other way, not even through spy in the sky satellites or
description. But they took part in crashed somewhere in the jungles of Central Africa. Before the satellite was no other to cameras, but there's someone open found out. Supposedly, the news spread, didn't believe for ESG theory. CIA even admitted it. Not long after that, the program.
Get to the next one.
The question is, was actual alcohol conspiracy?
Wait, what?
Its own citizens purposely. The poisoned alcohol conspiracy. In the 1920s, a terrifying conspiracy theory spread across America. A doctor claimed the government was poisoning alcohol to kill citizens. But if that was true, the question is why? In 1920, the United States government banned the sale and production of alcohol. The law became known as prohibition. Lawmakers believed alcohol was destroying American society. They thought banning it would reduce crime, improve families, and clean up the country.
I mean, I like history,
ban it,
but
all of America's
it depends,
problems would definitely 100% without a doubt be completely and totally solved.
Police raided warehouses and smashed barrels of alcohol, but almost immediately the law failed. People didn't stop drinking. They just started drinking in secret.
Almost overnight, a whole underground economy sprang up dedicated to smuggling and selling alcohol.
Yo,
If anything,
so like you drink alcohol, you get sick, get alcohol poisoning. Niggas don't care, they're still gonna drink. Like, it doesn't matter, gang. Yo, that's crazy. That's real. That's real.
Alcohol consumption became more widespread as people sought to outwit the law.
Bootleggers needed huge amounts of alcohol to keep up with demand, so they came up with a dangerous idea. They would turn industrial alcohol into drinking alcohol. Industrial alcohol was used in paint, cleaning products, and medical supplies. It was never meant to be consumed because it contained harmful chemicals, but that didn't stop them. Some people filtered industrial alcohol, bottled it.
That's why it's called alcohol poisoning. That's why they say alcohol is not good for you in general, because you don't even know what you're drinking, gang. Okay. Makes sense. That's why smoking is better than drinking. Cause drinking, like, you damage your brain and shit, but like smoking, damage your lungs. And you can still like function, like, unless you drink and then you're a functioning alcoholic, that's different. But like, you feel me? It makes sense. Makes sense. I be drinking. You see that? You see that wine? That red wine? Yup. I do. Yeah, smoking is your lungs. You think, bro, smoking is your lungs, drinking is your liver. Everybody knows that.
And secretly sold it in bars. As demand grew, thieves started breaking into factories. They stole entire barrels of industrial alcohol and pushed it into the black market. The government knew this was happening, but they couldn't stop the theft. So they decided to make the stolen alcohol
Wait, why did my volume just turn down? Am I bugging?
drinkable. The government sent a secret order to industrial alcohol makers. They told them to add deadly poisons to every batch.
There was already some methanol in most industrial alcohol formulations, but the government added more, a lot more, to the point where it was sometimes 10% of the entire product.
People kept stealing industrial alcohol from factories. Only now it was poison, and they had no idea. It was bottled and sold across the country. Before long, there was a national disaster. On Christmas Eve, 1926, 60 people were rushed to the hospital. They all drank toxic holiday liquor. 8 of them passed away before Christmas morning, and the crisis only got worse. The poisoned alcohol was everywhere. In New York City alone, over 1,200 people became serious.
So think about it. Why did they do this? Or like, what were they like? Why? What's the reason? Like, so they poisoned it, and they knew that niggas are still gonna drink it. You feel me? Who's to say that it's not still out there? So the next one you drink could be poison if you think about it. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. They should have been stealing it. That's true. Yes, that's true. But like, they did it on purpose. Everything is on purpose.
Sick. Around 400 of them passed away.
Victims would fall into a coma, and death often followed. The lucky ones, if you could call them that, would lose their sight, but at least they'd survive.
No one knew what was causing this sudden medical crisis, but one
Yo, I
doctor
bet you
was
COVID's on
determined to
here.
figure it out.
COVID
Charles
has to be
Norris
on here.
was the chief medical examiner of New York City. He watched these bodies pile up, and he figured out what was happening. He noticed that the victims all had one thing in common. They had been drinking. So the poison likely came from alcohol. But bootleggers wanted repeat customers. They wouldn't poison loyal buyers. So if bootleggers were not doing it on purpose, who was? To Norris, the answer was obvious. Norris called a press conference. Then he accused
Niggas
the
making
government
fake
of
liquor,
poisoning alcohol.
But it wasn't a virulent flu or poorly chosen mushrooms that caused their deaths. It was alcohol that had been poisoned by the US government, which sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's the truth.
Norris called it a national experiment in extermination. He also said the government must be held responsible for the deaths that poisoned liquor causes. Almost immediately, the government dismissed it as a conspiracy theory, but a few people believed it. It became a debate. Those who supported prohibition said alcohol was illegal, so anyone who drank it was breaking the law and deserved whatever happened. Others could not
that's why
believe
they made
their
it
own
legal?
government would poison citizens. The idea sounded too extreme. Norris needed undeniable proof, and he knew exactly how to get it. Norris contacted Alexander Gettler.
So hold up. You made it illegal to drink and drive because people die, you know what I'm saying? They get killed, you know what I'm saying? But you poison alcohol to kill us. Doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And people are still gonna do it regardless. So it doesn't make any sense. Like,
Gettler was the chief toxicologist for New York City. Gettler analyzed the bodies arriving at the morgue. Then he carefully tested samples taken from confiscated alcohol. The alcohol contained massive amounts of methanol, also known as wood alcohol. Consuming methanol would destroy the nervous system and cause blindness, and it could end lives slowly and painfully. Now, Norris and Gettler had proof of the government's poisoning program. They published their findings. Newspapers across the country reported the story. The public was outraged. The conspiracy theory was true all along. But even after the evidence came out, the poisoning program did not stop. Incredibly, the government admitted it and even doubled down on it. Officials announced that they would add even more toxic chemicals like benzene. They wanted the fear of death to scare Americans into obeying prohibition laws. But it didn't work. People still kept...
You see? I literally just said that. You just said that too. It's about power. They wanted power to scare y'all niggas, man. But they knew no one's gonna fucking listen, gang. Who the fuck are, like, you feel me? Who are you gonna tell me not drink? People are still gonna drink and drive. They're not gonna listen. They still do it. So they made it illegal. Feel me? If they didn't make it illegal, it would just be, I mean, it's already is chaos anyways. So what's, like, you understand? They just wanted power. They wanted power. They wanted y'all niggas to listen and follow the rules. Like, bro, that's crazy. So the niggas before us ruined it, bro. The niggas all the way back then before us, they ruined it for us. They ruined it. Feel me? They ruined it.
drinking, and many of them didn't survive. In December 1933, prohibition officially came to an end. Alcohol was no longer illegal. It was estimated that about 10,000 Americans passed away from these poison drinks. The whole program worked because people trusted what they were given. Nobody even questioned what was actually inside. The government counted on that. And cell phone companies have been doing that same thing for years. They show you one price, but hide the fees in the fine print. So when you get the bill, it's much higher than you expect. But Mint Mobile, the sponsor of today's video, said, we're gonna be honest. Just tell people the actual price. And
you got me again. You got me. You got me. W ad. You got me. Can't believe I fell for that. No, you got me. I gotta be fried. I really fell for that ad, bro. You got me.
1960s, an investigative journalist
I was
made
good.
a
I'm not gonna lie. You
shocking
got it.
claim. He said the
You got it.
CIA hired American mafia to assassinate a world leader. The idea of the CIA working with gangsters seemed impossible. Then the evidence started coming out, and people realized it was far worse than they thought. In 1959, a revolutionary named Fidel Castro took power in Cuba.
Everybody knew this, though.
Fidel Castro himself had been long deferred. These scenes show his triumphal march across the island to the capital following the victory.
The US government hated what Castro stood for. They wanted him gone. But Castro was heavily guarded. He already survived multiple assassination attempts. If the CIA wanted to reach Castro, they needed something
Then they
he
took
would
over
never
Cuba.
expect. They felt like they needed a gangster-type action. So the CIA reached out to the American mafia. Luckily for them, the mafia had its own reason to hate Castro. Before Castro took power, the mob controlled the many.
You know what's crazy though, gang? This, you know how powerful this is, gang? You understand? You understand how this affected Florida? Because Miami's right there. So guess where all the Cubans went? To Miami, Florida, gang. You understand? Now this is why, like, when you come to Miami, like, bro, this shit is crazy. This is actually crazy. I'm over here talking like I wasn't even born. I wasn't even born when this shit happened, gang.
Casinos in Cuba. They made millions of dollars, but when Castro took over, he shut down the casinos and kicked the mob out. The mafia lost a fortune, so the CIA and the mafia had a common enemy. And in 1960, they joined forces to destroy him. A CIA agent had a meeting with a Las Vegas mobster. The offer was simple. The CIA would pay the mafia $150,000 to eliminate Castro. But the mafia hated Castro so much that they insisted on taking the job for free. Later that year, the CIA and mafia secretly met again. This time they discussed exactly how they would do it. The CIA wanted to use a firearm, but Castro was heavily guarded at all times. No gunman could get close enough to pull the trigger and escape. So the mafia suggested a quieter solution. They would use some type of potent pill that could be placed in Castro's food or drink. The CIA agreed. They returned a type of potent to pull the trigger and escape. So the mafia suggested a quieter solution. They would use some
in a hotel in Miami. So they did it in Miami. So this affected Florida. Okay.
type of potent pill that could be placed in Castro's food or drink. The CIA agreed. They returned to the lab to create the poison. Soon, they developed 6 pills filled with lethal toxins. Once they were slipped into Castro's drink, the pills would dissolve instantly, and they worked very fast. Castro's demise would look like a sudden natural illness. The CIA handed the pills over to the mafia. The mafia passed them to a Cuban official with access to Castro's food. The plan was in motion.
Watch that back door again. How? How did he get that? How did they do that? How do they do that? How? Who's moving like that? How do you stop that? You can't. Who got the information? Like, what? Nigga, put that nigga in his drink? You tell me, bro, who? Nah.
The Cuban official placed the pills inside a freezer for safekeeping. He picked a time and day. All he had to do was slip the pills into Castro's chocolate milkshake. But at the last minute, the man chosen for the job made a stupid mistake.
When the would-be assassin went to retrieve the poisoned capsule from the freezer where he had hidden it, he found it frozen to the wall. His attempts to free the capsule caused it to rupture, scuppering the assassination attempts.
The pills were ruined. With no poison left to use, he called off the mission. After that, the mafia searched for someone else who could get close to Castro's food, but every plan failed before it could happen. In 1961, the assassination plan was officially abandoned. The CIA and mafia quietly went their separate ways. They believed the secret would be buried forever, but it didn't. Years later, an investigative journalist learned about the operation, and he published an expose in the newspaper. The CIA denied everything, but the truth was going to come out one way or another.
All right, so look right here. Here's what I gotta say. Investigational list journalist. First of all, that's a crazy name. That's a crazy title. How do you even study for that? Like, gang, like, understand, how the fuck did he even find this information? How did he find that information? Like, where did this nigga go looking? Bro, This doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense.
And Mafia quietly went their separate ways. They believed the secret would be buried forever, but it didn't. Years later, an investigative journalist learned about the operation, and he published an expose in the newspaper. The CIA denied everything, but the truth was going to come out one way or another.
They wanted him
in
to find it on
1975, the CIA was accused of carrying out illegal activities, so the government set
The chef saved him. Okay. So the chef peeped and saved him. So he did it slightly. Okay. That makes more sense, because like, how did they really know? Like, you have to really watch who you. Wow. That's crazy.
Up a committee to investigate.
We can't win.
The United States must not adopt the tactics of the enemy. Means are as important as ends.
The investigation uncovered files that confirmed the CIA worked with the Mafia. The story became front-page news. According to the files, the CIA met with two mob bosses during the negotiations. One was Chicago mob boss Sam Giancana. The other was Las Vegas mobster Johnny Rosselli. The committee called Sam Giancana to testify, but he never made it to the hearing. On June 19th, 1975, just days before his testimony, Giancana was found lifeless. He was assassinated in his home in Illinois. The timing was incredibly suspicious, but the committee moved on to its next witness, Johnny Rosselli. Thankfully, Rosselli managed to testify.
Rosselli was fully cooperative. For 2.5 hours, he told of plotting with the CIA starting in 1960 to try to kill Castro.
He told them about the meetings and the poison pills, everything, but
So he told the government that the CIA tried to kill Castro, and then all of a sudden, he dies. Cause and effect. Good thing that we know, but it's a cause and effect. For me, that's crazy.
Speaking out was a fatal mistake. Shortly after his testimony, Rosselli disappeared. He was later found lifeless floating off the coast of Florida. But the truth was already out. Everyone knew the CIA secretly partnered with the Mafia. Decades later, in 2007, more CIA documents were declassified. The files laid out the operation piece by piece. In our next chapter, a group of researchers ran a routine test and accidentally uncovered one of the biggest scandals in history. The toxic car conspiracy. Volkswagen looked like a company helping the planet. They claimed their cars released low emissions, making them better for the environment. Customers believed the message, but some researchers suspected it was all a lie. They believed Volkswagen cars were destroying the environment by releasing far more pollution than the company admitted. When they spoke up, nobody listened, so they went looking for proof. In 2013, a group of researchers decided to test.
Bro, are you come out like, bro? You gotta be bored, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You gotta be bored, bro. That's love. Bro. That's like me saying. It's like me seeing a diesel truck, and then watching the diesel come out, and then it'd be like, bro, that's not diesel. Let me go test it and see if that's really diesel, bro. Like, maybe that's not diesel for real, bro. No one cares about that, bro. Are you serious? Do you really think, bro? Are you like? You tell me a nigga really tested that out? This is a real thing. A toxic car. Yo, nah.
Volkswagen's diesel cars. Volkswagen marketed those cars as clean diesel vehicles with low emissions. Here's one of their commercials.
Diesel in Latin means dirty. I'll prove it to you. You're gonna ruin your scarf. Oh, look what she's doing. See how clean it is?
The researchers took the Volkswagen Jetta to the lab and started a test. It was a routine test. They did not expect to find anything strange. In the lab, the results were perfect. The car's emissions were low. Everything looked exactly how Volkswagen said it would. Then, the researchers took the car into the highway. That's when everything went wrong. On the road, the Jetta released emissions up to 40 times the legal limit. That meant it was more toxic than most cars on the road. The researchers were shocked because they tested the same car in the lab.
That's not
and
a
in the lab,
conspiracy at
the
all.
emissions were low, but on the road, it acted like a completely different car. The researchers double-checked their equipment by testing a BMW. The BMW's emissions stayed the same in the lab. and on the road. But every time they tested a Volkswagen, the numbers changed. The cars seemed to lower their emissions in the lab. Then they seemed to raise them again on the road. There was only one explanation. Volkswagen somehow found a way to cheat the emissions test. The researchers dug deeper to understand how it worked. When they studied the car's software, they found what's known as a defeat device. This device could
shit lagging, bro. Hold up. And I was just talking about the neighbor's Wi-Fi, bro. I mean, I could use the free Xfinity. Nah, I think we're good.
detect when the car was sitting still on a lab roller. Then it automatically reduced the car's emissions so it would pass the test. But once the car hit the road, it switched to normal mode, and the car released more pollution into the air. The researchers published their findings in May 2014. They accused Volkswagen of cheating emissions tests and lying to consumers. That scandal could have ruined the company. So Volkswagen replied immediately. But instead of admitting the problem, the company blamed the researchers for making mistakes.
They took exception with our testing, with the way we approached it, with the conditions that we used.
For over a year, Volkswagen refused to admit anything was wrong. They insisted that their cars were environmentally friendly, but the researchers refused to back down.
And we said, fine.
And what else happened?
We're going to do it again. And we did it again and came with the same results.
This time they sent the results to the Environmental Protection.
Aquaphor, witch hazel, and what's the thing called? The little pads for me. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I use that. Wow. My skin's good. Right now I'm looking kind of rough. Not gonna lie. I appreciate it. I'm looking kind of rough right now. It might just be the lighting.
Agency. The EPA reviewed it carefully. Then the EPA made a massive decision. They refused to approve Volkswagen's 2016 models for sale in the US. The executives at Volkswagen now had a choice: lose their entire American market or confess. On September 3rd, 2015, Volkswagen executives finally admitted the truth. The company installed software on its cars to cheat emissions tests.
Today, the company said it would recall 11 million diesel cars worldwide, after admitting they had been rigged to cheat emissions tests.
For years, those cars pumped high levels of pollution into the air. And the whole time,
Listen. Look. They're calling for the recall of the car. Out of the 11 million that they wanted back, how much do you think they got back? And how much do you think they're worth now? You think the value went up? No one's gonna want to give it back. Like, come on, bro. Are you serious?
Volkswagen claimed it was making clean, low-emission cars. It was a global scandal. Volkswagen's CEO issued a public apology.
We are very sorry to have broken your trust. I think what they meant is we're very sorry to have lied to you.
During another speech, the CEO admitted to lying to authorities.
Like, are you
so
serious?
Let's be clear about this.
Yo,
Our
what's
company
good? What's
was
good?
dishonest with the EPA and the California Air Resources Board.
He eventually resigned. The company
that's why
pleaded guilty to criminal charges. They paid over $30 billion in fines. It was one of the largest penalties ever handed to a car company. In the end, millions of people learned the truth. The car company they trusted was lying to them. Our next chapter is about a weapon.
You tell me Volkswagen paid $30 billion and they still up there? You know why they up there? Because Lamborghini used Volkswagen parts, so that's why. Volkswagen bag is deep. They paid $30 billion. Holy shit! You gonna smoke mad vape? I'm joining. Yeah, I'm joining. I got my shit right here. I'm fried too.
The CIA built that could kill anyone, anywhere, and make it look completely natural. The heart attack conspiracy. For years, people claimed the CIA had a weapon that could give anyone a heart attack. All they had to do was point and pull the trigger. It was dismissed as a paranoid conspiracy theory. Later, the truth came out in the most shocking way. The heart attack gun was displayed on live TV for the whole world to see. In the early 1970s, the CIA had a problem. They wanted to eliminate people they considered threats, but they needed a method that could not be traced back to them. However, every option left evidence. A bullet could be traced. Poison could show up during an autopsy.
How
They
the fuck
needed
did they make
something
this? There's no way.
cleaner. So they turned to a young
not
CIA
real.
researcher named Mary Embry. Mary's bosses
There's no way.
gave her one assignment.
They wanted me to find out
That's
if
what I'm
there was
saying.
such
They are
a thing
tripping.
as a poison that was undetectable, especially one that seemed to mimic a heart attack.
They wanted a poison that left no trace. Even during an autopsy, Mary got to work. She tested dozens of toxins. Eventually, she found what she was looking for: shellfish toxin. In concentrated doses, it could shut down the human heart. And even better for the CIA, it could disappear from the body.
So
the
they're gonna
CIA
shoot him with a
took
gun?
Mary's discovery and built a weapon around it. They froze the toxin into a tiny dart made of ice. Then they loaded that dart into a modified pistol. The gun
What?
made almost no sound when fired. When the dart hit someone, it felt like an insect bite. Most people would ignore that sensation, but inside the body,
Yo, nah, it's frying me, gang. You're telling me they made a gun, when you shoot it, it feels like a mosquito bite. Do you understand how crazy that is? The whole time you just chilling, yeah, okay, you got a mosquito bite, okay, you just scratching that shit, you gonna have a heart attack and you gonna die. Do you know how crazy that is, gang? What the, nah, this guy, if this is real, this is actually crazy. There's no way, there's no way.
the damage would start instantly. The dart would melt, releasing the shellfish toxin into
There's
the
no
bloodstream. The victim would experience a massive heart attack, and that would be the end. When doctors performed an autopsy, they would find no strange
no way.
substances, just a tiny red dot where the dart entered the skin. Nobody would think much of it. The death would be listed as natural causes. The CIA now had an untraceable weapon, and they could take out anyone they wanted. It's not clear how many times the heart attack gun was used, but one thing is certain: the CIA stockpiled large amounts of shellfish toxins and hid them in a lab. The shellfish toxin was the untraceable poison used in the gun. Over the years, things changed. In the mid-1970s, the CIA came under investigation. Congress heard reports that the agency was involved in illegal activities, so they formed a committee to investigate the CIA.
So someone slipped up right here in the CIA. Someone slipped up. Someone told. How did they get this information? Someone leaked it on purpose. There's no way. Feel me? If this is look, if this is within the CIA, how did the government or the Congress, all that bullshit, how'd they get it? Everything is in motion. Everything's in play. Understand? Like, it's on purpose. Why would they leak their own shit? It's crazy.
Senator Frank Church led the probe. He and his team found a stockpile of weapons and toxins inside CIA labs and warehouses. One of those weapons was the heart attack gun. Eventually, the CIA director was invited before a congressional committee to answer questions. The hearing was broadcast on live TV. During the questioning, the pistol was held up for the entire country to see. The CIA director was asked about the weapon.
Does this pistol fire the dart?
Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman, and a special one was developed.
The country was shocked, and conspiracy theories were thrilled. There it was, proof that the CIA developed an illegal, untraceable assassination weapon. But one question has never been answered. Was it ever actually used successfully? The CIA never said, and they likely never will. Our next chapter raises a question. How much of what the...
All right, so we got a heart attack gun. So there's a heart attack gun out there that can give you a heart attack. Okay. So if you get a heart attack just by doing nothing and you're completely healthy, you'll not believe no science and all that bullshit. The CIA made a heart attack fucking gun. You feel me? That's like, you understand how crazy that is? A heart attack gun? Like, bro.
The news tells you is actually true. the CIA news conspiracy. The news is supposed to tell the truth, but people believe the government was secretly controlling the news that people heard. And they believe that certain journalists were actually government agents hired to push certain narratives and bury others. The government called it a conspiracy theory, but evidence began to show. It started with a student organization. In February 1967, it was revealed.
The government called it a conspiracy theory? Bro, gang, it's literally obvious, gang. That's why it's called propaganda. Like it's called propaganda. Like you only see what they want you to see. Obviously, like bro, everybody knew that. Yeah, lizard people. I want to see that one on there too. That's a good one.
That the largest student group in the US was funded and run by the CIA. On the surface, the group looked independent. It presented itself as a friendly voice for young Americans. But behind the scenes, the CIA was...
No, listen. If the lizard people is on there, my only question is like, how do you become one? Like, I'm interested. Like, dude, do you be born? Like, are you born a lizard? Or do you, like, become a lizard? Like, and, like how much does it cost? Like, do you, like, you feel me? Like, how many lizards have died? You feel me? I want to know, like, you know?
Quietly paying it to spread government propaganda to students. The agency also used students as spies. They were told to collect information from foreigners and pass it back to the CIA. The New York Times put the story on the front page. This revelation encouraged reporters to dig deeper. They wanted to find all the ways the CIA was secretly influencing the public. And then they stumbled onto something much bigger than they expected. In 1975, the New York Times suspected that some news reporters were secretly working with the CIA. When they investigated, they found out they were right. They discovered the CIA had a network of journalists inside major American newspapers and TV networks. The head of the CIA was called before Congress to answer for it. He admitted part of it was true.
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Some journalists also admitted that the CIA contacted them to spread certain stories.
We had been contacted by the CIA. As a matter of fact, by the time I became the head of the whole news and public affairs operation in 1954,
and guess what?
Ships had been...
Is this nigga still alive or what? Bro said 1954. No, yeah, bro's toasted. He's cooked. He's not alive. I'm not even gonna do the math, gang. I'm fried, but nah, bro's nah.
Established.
Congress identified over 50 active journalists on the CIA payroll, but the actual number was much larger. In 1977, another investigation revealed that over 400 American journalists carried out assignments for the CIA over a period of 25 years. These weren't small-time writers. They were evening news anchors, award-winning reporters, and Pulitzer Prize winners. People who ordinary Americans trusted deeply. CIA documents also revealed the agency...
You wanna know what's crazy, though? If you want to get deeper, bro, this shit is still going on. Number one, right? Number two, these people had kids, right? So even if they're dead, they had kids. And guess what? To get a job like this back in the day, to work for the CIA, to work for the government, how do you even acquire this job? Right? That's cool. But it's like they got kids now. I know people have families. And then they're rich. There's no way they're not rich. All of these people are here. They're rich. They're rich, gang. Even their kids are rich, gang. But this shit is not fair. Like, gang, this shit is not fair. Like, what the? You can't win, bro.
He could plant fake stories in foreign newspapers, and those same stories could be picked up by American media and reported it as real news.
This would mean that
in Florida,
the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country.
The CIA was essentially writing the news. It was such a big scandal that the president got involved. In 1977, a presidential order banned the CIA from using journalists. The message to the public was clear. It was over. It would not happen again. But not everyone believed that. Almost 20 years passed. In February 1996, a new CIA director appeared before a Senate committee. He was there to discuss threats to U.S. information systems. A senator asked him him a direct question. Would the CIA promise to never recruit journalists again? The CIA director could not say yes. Instead, he gave an answer with a loophole.
The policy says that we will not use journalists except under American journalists, except under very, very rare circumstances.
That meant the CIA could still recruit reporters to shape the news, as long as they felt it was justified. It's a disturbing reality, especially because the news could be lying to you right now. Our next chapter is about a poison that every single American was breathing and almost no one knew. The ethyl conspiracy. In the 1950s, a scientist made a disturbing discovery. The average American had massive amounts of lead inside their body. Some people thought it was normal, but the scientist felt something far more dangerous was happening. He believed giant corporations were knowingly polluting air with toxic lead. But when he tried warning the public, those billion-dollar companies tried to ruin his life. The story began in the 1920s. Car companies discovered that adding lead to gasoline made engines run.
Oh my god, bro, we can't even breathe now, gang. Well, we can't do nothing, bro. We can't even breathe, bro. Telling me, bro, they putting some gas in the air, bro. Like, I gotta wear a mask again. Can't even breathe. For what? If I can't breathe, then how the fuck are you breathing then? What the fuck? Hold up. So that means you're not human then. Because why would any human do this? Just to affect all humans? This makes no sense. You're telling me the CIA put gas in the air so we can't breathe? So we could die? So who the fuck, how are you gonna stay alive then? How are they gonna stay alive? Interesting. Maybe those are the lizard people.
Smoother. They called the new leaded gas ethyl. Car owners loved it. Selling ethyl was incredibly profitable, but there was a serious problem. Lead was toxic. In fact, lead was so toxic that workers in the leaded gas factories suffered hallucinations. Some even passed away from lead poisoning. Lead particles could spread through the air. Simply breathing too much could make people very sick. But the companies...
I breathe this in my job too. I should wear a mask at my job. Every time I sneeze, gang. Yes. I breathe this in my jaw. But damn, nah, that's crazy though. That's crazy.
Did not want to stop producing leaded gasoline. The business was making far too much money, so they refused to accept that lead was poisoning workers.
They knew that it was harmful. They tried to say that that didn't matter.
Yes, because of the gas and the water park, yes. You hear my voice? It's cracking. The water park, yes. I was having a good time at the water park. It was every single ride I tried to go on. I paid $100, of course. Feel me? I was supposed to be at work that day, and I was late. And I still went to work. I had fun, but you know what I'm saying? Money. Got my money right back, of course.
They tried to blame the workers who got sick in their factories.
There was an even bigger issue. Cars using leaded gasoline released fumes that contained the lead. Those fumes dissolved into the air, and anyone who breathed that air also breathed.
I'm not gonna lie. It's been like what? It's been like 3-4 months at this new job now. So I finally got my uniform, right? Finally got my uniform. They gave me like 13 pairs of uniforms. Wait, today's what? Sunday. Today's Sunday. So tomorrow, right? When I go into work tomorrow, Monday, and I get off Tuesday morning, right? I'm gonna come home, hop on stream with me, with my new uniform that I got. I'm gonna see how this shit fits on me, cause like I don't know what they picked, but I want to see. They got my name on it. Yo, I just can't wait. You feel me? I'm tired of wearing, but every day I'm wearing something different. But like I'm tired of doing that. And now I got a uniform. And I just want to see how this shit look and you feel me? I want to see how this shit look. This shit is clean though. I know it's clean.
Then tiny amounts of lead. The car companies knew this could scare
I'm excited
the public,
to go
so
to work.
They tried to
are you
control
serious?
The narrative. They wanted Americans to believe lead was safe. To do that, they hired scientists to defend lead. These scientists told the public that lead was naturally found inside the human body. They claimed that this proved it was safe. Most Americans believed it. And because of that, millions of people inhaled leaded gasoline fumes every single day without realizing the danger. But one scientist was about to uncover the truth. In the 1950s, Claire Patterson was a geochemist at the California Institute of Technology. He was trying to calculate the exact age of the Earth by studying ancient rocks. But he kept running into a strange problem. Every sample he tested was contaminated with lead. There was lead in the air, lead in the dust.
Nah, bro. I don't like you. Like, bro, some niggas just got it, gang. Bro, studying rocks to see the age of the Earth. I mean, like, if you curious, bro, but like, bro, he's rich. That nigga's rich, gang. He's rich. He's like, you got it, bro. But why did I think of that, bro? That nigga's rich, gang. Studying rocks of the Earth, like, there's a title. There's an actual title for that. That's a job. Damn, bro. What am I doing, bro? What am I doing?
Lead in the rocks, lead everywhere. The contamination was impossible to ignore. Where was all this lead coming from?
Big Rich.
Then Patterson made another discovery. Americans had 100 times more lead in their blood than ancient humans. Somehow this toxic chemical was almost everywhere in America. Patterson decided to go public. In 1965, he published a scientific paper explaining his findings. He made one thing very clear. Lead was dangerous to humans, and they needed to do everything to reduce lead contamination. The companies making billions from lead didn't like that. He was ruining their business. So they went after Patterson personally. First, they tried to destroy his career.
Eventually, a VP of an oil company who's a trustee at Caltech calls the president and asks for him to be fired.
Patterson's research funding was cut off. He was blocked from government meetings where environmental decisions were made. Patterson was smeared in the media. They painted him as a
Okay, so see, the dude was rich, but it wasn't his money. Someone funded him. So you gotta find niggas to fund you. Who the fuck is that nigga that funded him, gang? Who the fuck is that nigga, gang? Feel me? Where you get that money from, gang? Where you get that money from? That's what I want to know. Instead of a pet rock could have been a geoscientist. Yes, a geoscientist. Yes, because think about it. You're just out there studying rocks and just like collecting samples, bro. Like, I wouldn't mind. I love science anyway. That's my favorite subject, science. So anything that's something to do with science, I love science. Feel me? That's my strongest subject, and that's my favorite subject because it's my strongest subject. It's the only subject I know is science, which is it's not a good thing, but it's a good thing to me. I like science. That's your major? Really? Like what, health science? I did health science. I did, bro, I don't even know, gang. But I do remember health science though. That's the main thing. My mom forced me to do health science. Like, she literally forced me. Like, if I wanted to do CNA, I could. You know what I mean? I could really even take it as far as PTA. But
conspiracy theorists spreading science fiction. At the same time, the companies hired scientists to travel around the country claiming lead was harmless. For a while, it seemed they won. But they still wanted Patterson on their side, so the lead industry offered him research funding if he stopped criticizing them. It was basically a bribe, but Patterson refused to back down. He kept collecting evidence, he kept speaking out, and eventually Patterson got his moment. In 1966, Patterson testified before the US Senate. He arrived with overwhelming evidence. He showed the Senate the data from ancient ice cores. He explained how the ice...
So like what? So like what? Fishes. Like they're fishes, like plants, stuff like that, right? And then physical. Okay. I wanted to do my dream job is to be a physical therapist for sports, like sports medicines, like a personal, for athletes. Yeah. to train athletes, get them back in shape. Feel me? But that is a lot of school game. And I could lock in, but nah, that's crazy. Anatomy, chemistry, and micro. I never took micro. I love chemistry. Anatomy. That anatomy gonna make me sound like a nerd. I don't. But chemistry though.
From thousands of years ago was completely clean, while modern snow was 200% more toxic. He explained how lead damaged the human brain and nervous system, and how it caused learning disabilities in children and violent behavior in adults. Again and again, Patterson proved lead pollution was man-made, and it was poisoning everyone from factory workers to school kids. Pollution and violent behavior in adults. Again and again, Patterson proved lead pollution was man-made, and it was
Am I bugging?
Poisoning everyone.
Am I bugging?
Again, Patterson proved that lead pollution was man-made, and it was poisoning everyone from
oh yeah, I'm fried. Never mind, I'm fried.
Factory workers to school kids. His conclusion was clear. The amount of lead in the air skyrocketed after leaded gasoline was introduced. This time, the government listened. They began restricting leaded gasoline. By 1996, the use of leaded gasoline for vehicles was banned in the US, and the results were impossible to ignore. After the ban, lead levels in Americans' blood dropped by 78%. The companies profiting from leaded gasoline.
Yeah. I mean, we still have leaded thing because that's why on the gas it says unleaded, but we still have lead in there anyways, nigga. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't, like, come on, we don't care. But I'm so weak ass. That's weak. For me, that's let me find my own theory, nigga. Feel me? I should make my own theory. Let me see. Let me think. The money theory. Or actually, the generational. Yeah. Generational wealth theory. W Typer. What everybody gets wrong about generational wealth. Nigga, what do I get wrong about? Let me see.
Well, hey, you guys. So today I'm going to talk about breaking the cycle. And when we talk about breaking the cycle, again, that can be for a lot of different things. But when you talk about your money habits, we say, hey, break the cycle of your bad money habits so you can put good money habits in place that's going to help paycheck to paycheck. Or, you know, when I talk, so we're going to, mom and dad, they get to start a little family different ways. For some people, financial peace or helped you, they walk so through your life, and you're again thankful for sure. Be sure to check out my episode on easy ways to build.
Facts. I don't know why that's up there, but facts. There you go.
So you're a billionaire and you've run into a problem. You've amassed all this wealth, all this power, but you're getting old. And your kids, your nieces, your nephews.
There you go. Because think about it. There's a trillionaire out there, King. There's a trillionaire out there. Do you understand that? You will never reach that money in your lifetime. I would never reach that money. Doesn't matter how you could be faithful, you could be optimistic. You're never touching that much money in your life. Do you understand? Like, that's a trillionaire. Dude, what the fuck? I can't even fathom how much money. Do you understand? What would you even do? What do you do? What do you do, huh? You just go to sleep all day? You can do anything you want. Nigga, how you even leave your house, nigga? You got a target on your head, nigga. $1 trillion. You understand? You can't be human. You can't be, nah. You understand? Like, there's no way. There's no way. What you mean negative? You're not touching that much money ever. Like, do you understand? You just have to be real. $1 trillion? I'm not gonna say like I'm jealous, but like, nigga, you feel me? Like, what? Tell me what I gotta do, or you feel me? Give me the sauce. Can't be greedy. $1 trillion? You could be up there, but that nigga is way, bro. $1 trillion? Like, no one is touching that ever. $1 trillion? We'll see how long that lasts. That's all I gotta say. We'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. We'll see who gets that. We'll see. We'll see.
They're all lining up to kiss your butt to make sure they get listed on the will. But your family doesn't know anything about money. They didn't have to grind it out like you did. Everything was given to them. So if you leave any money to them, they are gonna squander it. No, seriously, a staggering 70%.
Oh my gosh, hold up. Oh my gosh, gang. Unskippable cutscene. Like, you cannot skip that cutscene. You just have to just follow through. Let that, like, what is it? What did it look like I was even talking about? I want to see if, like, if you could read lips. Like, that was not the boss call. No boss call. I got no boss call. Chill.
Of wealthy families lose their wealth by the next generation, with 90% losing it by the generation after that. 2 generations. That is all it takes for all your wealth, all your hard work, the empire you've built to go circling down the drain.
I was. How do you? Like, you can just read me? Like, do you know? Do I know you? I was making excuses because I'm not gonna lie. She wanted me to come over. It is 2 in the morning. She lives an hour away. I do not want to drive an hour away. 2 in the morning. Right now. I'm sorry. I just smoked. I'm tired. So I said no. I said, are you gonna be up? Like, later? She said yes. I said, okay. So maybe later, if I'm feeling it, I'll drive that hour. But now, no. You gotta learn how to say no. But I just had to hear that in my ear, just really body language. I was like, was I more comfortable or was I more relaxed? Would you say? I want to know. 'Cause when she's talking to me, she tried to put on that little voice, and then it switched when I said no. So. Like, I think I'm stupid, bro. I'm not stupid.
You cannot let that happen. But lucky for you, ultra-wealthy dynasties have already figured out how to solve this problem, and at the center of it all are the Rockefellers, who after 80 years since his death, 7 generations later, John D. Rockefeller.
Yeah, these niggas right here are evil as fuck. I don't understand how these niggas did it. But every single one of these niggas are rich. You definitely had your lying face on too. Did I tell her a lie? Or did I tell a lie? I did. Well, yeah, I did. I said I'll see after when I come back or when I wake up. And really, when I wake up, I'm not gonna see. I'm gonna probably go back to sleep. Honestly. And then I'll see when I wake up. Maybe. But I do want to see her. I do drive down there. But, bro. You feel me? I don't know. Like, you feel me? Like damn, nigga.
Rockefeller's family is still standing as one of the wealthiest families on Earth.
I'm thinking about money.
How wealthy? Well, no one knows, because they're just that good at hiding it. And in this video, we are gonna expose it all. Trusts, family foundations, family offices, and a super clever tactic that not many people know about. Stay dangerous, this is how the rich get richer, and this is definitely not financial advice.
Trying to get rich. It's a class.
Here's
right
what
here.
you have to understand about the ultra wealthy versus the masses. The masses want to get rich so they can own the land.
You spin it. So I didn't know you were a poet. Now you a poet? Skin too clear. Skin too clear. Too easy to read. Hold up. Really? Yeah. Appreciate it. My skin not that clear. Can't be. I mean, I do drink my water. Like, I'm not gonna lie. People look at me and my job like I'm crazy because I would do work outside. It is hot. I sweat. I overly sweat. Like, nigga, is something wrong with me? Or is my body just overly working hard? I sweat to the point where it's like, you gotta take your shirt off. You gotta take your shirt off. And if you take your shirt off and you're not ready, it's motivation to get ready, which means get right. You know what I'm saying? Good thing I got right. So you gotta take your shirt off anyways. For me, why not? It's hot, I'm sweaty, take my shirt off. But it's like I'm overly sweating, I need water. And you cannot, this type of job, you can't stop. You just gotta keep going. So if you stop to go get water, you fucking up the rotation, bro. You fucking it up. Nigga, I need my water, gang. I be sweating, bro. I be sweating like crazy. Like, it's not. It's this little ass water bottle is not enough. You know how much time I fill this shit a day? Like, but hey, this shit be working though. I ain't gonna lie. Shit be working. If I forget that, my day's over. Cannot work. There's no stopping.
So they can own the yacht, the mansion, the private jets. They want to show it off. They want to flaunt their wealth. But owning stuff is for the peasants.
Of course.
When you legally own something, leeches want to sue you every chance they get. Thieves want to steal from you. The government wants to tax.
I drink what's the thing called? What's that plant called? Aloe vera juice. I drink aloe vera juice. With me? Yeah, I drink aloe vera juice, so I'm good. Trust me.
You into oblivion, ambitious prosecutors want to take you down, and the plebs want to pillage you. That is why the ultra wealthy do not want to own stuff, because owning stuff sucks. Instead, what you want to do is have control over your assets as if you owned it without actually owning it. You want to live in the penthouse on Billionaires Row without it being tied to your name. You want to sell your mega yacht without it being under your name.
I just found out you cannot take the pills at the same time because they cancel out each other. So you gotta take it like, you feel me? So if I take like zinc, I can't take magnesium at the same time. You gotta space them out, obviously, but it's like, bro, ashwagandha. Let's say I take ashwagandha and then I eat something. Bro, you can't take pills on an empty stomach too, because that's where you get sick. I used to take like before the gym, with me, then used to work out, and then get sick. Like, what was I doing? Gotta eat first. But now, I take my pills every day, my supplements. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you do your push-ups in the morning. Gotta get that blood flowing. It just feels amazing, gang. Like you don't understand. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's a routine. If you miss one day at work, it just feels off, bro. It feels off. It fucks your whole day.
Ask the Russian oligarchs if they agree. The key is control, not ownership. You want to be able to do everything you can with the thing as if you owned it without having your name on the papers.
Because when you have ownership, taxes follow you and liability follows you. And also sometimes fame follows you. And so those three things could be problematic. And the people that are really wealthy want control, but they don't necessarily want the liability that comes with ownership. And they don't necessarily want the taxation that files title and ownership. And so many of the wealthiest people in the world, we don't even know their names because they have a ton of control, but they're not names are not personally on a lot of assets and wealth, and that's really the name of the game.
This is my friend Caleb, by the way, with Better Wealth, and he's dedicated his life to.
So if you're really talking, then there could be another trillionaire you're saying that you don't know about. 8 billion people on this earth. I think there's another trillionaire. What you? Okay, so you saying that like? Hold up. You saying that like you're a trillionaire or that you're gonna become one? You're like, I have faith, but you're not touching, bro. You're not touching $1 trillion. I'm not touching $1 trillion. You're not touching $1 trillion. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm not wishing it on you, but you're not. Like, come on, I wish.
Learning how the ultra wealthy do things to bring down that knowledge to everyday people like us.
Touching $1 trillion,
do you think there's richer people out there than the people that we see on the Forbes list, like Bezos, Musk?
Yeah, 100%. There's people that are way wealthier than the people on the Forbes list because of entities and structures and other things that they control that they're not giving credit for, and they do it intentionally.
But how do you control something without owning it? Simple. The elite have created certain entities. They've created certain tools that give you all the control you want. While technically on paper, you're as broke as the beggar on the streets. And the first tool that families like the Rockefellers use is called a trust.
I'm optimistic. am I learning about this though?
In 1934, John D. Rockefeller Jr. established trusts for his daughter and 5 sons that consisted of oil company stocks and real estate holdings. These trusts still hold the bulk of the fortune. Another set of trusts were set up in 1952 for his grandchildren, the 4th generation of the family. But why? Why trusts? Think of a trust like a corporation but for your family.
This nigga did this for his grandchildren. They're not even born yet. What the fuck was my family doing? What, like, so now it's up to me? It's up to me. You think I'm Bruce Wayne? You think I'm Batman or some shit? You think... Now, you know what would be clean though? If I really was Batman though. Like, imagine me like acting like look, listen. Imagine me on here streaming. I'm just chilling, right? Like, the minute I turn this off, I just hop in my Lamborghini, you feel me? You wouldn't even know, nigga. You wouldn't even know. I would just hop in my Lamborghini. Who would just say I don't got a Lamborghini right now? You would never know. I could really be Bruce Wayne, feel me? I'm really Batman. You never know what goes on. You Lex Luthor? Oh, cause you bald. That's why. You bald. You must be. Lex Luthor bald, ain't he?
You put your money and real estate and businesses into this trust, and once the money is in the trust, you can invest that money however you want. You get to set the rules for what happens to your money when you die, but most importantly, just like a corporation, once you put money in the trust, you do not own it anymore. The trust owns that money. You and the trust are completely separate legal entities. You give up all the ownership of that money, but none of the control. So on paper, maybe you're worth a measly $10 million, but in reality, you might be worth over $100 billion, with all that money safely stashed in hundreds of different trusts. And because these trusts don't directly belong to you, your money is protected. If you get sued or something, they can't come after the money you have in your trust.
Oh my
Just like how if you sued a corporation and they don't have any money, you're not gonna get a cent out of the founder's personal bank account.
Trust. Everybody knew that. Take notes. Trust. So now we gotta acquire the trust, and then now we gotta put money. You have to have money to put in the trust. Feel me? Step 1, put the money in the trust. Build that trust over the years. Let it grow. But you know what's crazy? Niggas who died before the trust. You trusted it. It's not funny. It's not, you don't get it?
Also in America, we have a death tax, which means when you die and you pass on your money to your kids, they're gonna get hit with a death tax of up to 40%, one of the highest in the world. And trusts help your kids avoid that pesky death tax. That way, when you die, your kids just take your place on the board of trustees and all the control that comes with it. But trusts are just one part of the succession plan.
Oh yeah,
what
then
really
I gotta
ties
get rich.
everything
Hey man, hold up. You're telling me. Damn, bro. Yeah, I gotta get rich, man. That's motivation, man. Nah. Telling me 40% if a nigga die. That the parent has to pay 40%. Holy shit. You gotta get rich. I'm not letting my 40%. Fuck no.
40%, one of the highest in the world. And trusts help your kids avoid that pesky death tax. That way, when you die, your kids just take your place on the board of trustees and all the control that comes with it. But trusts are just one part of the succession plan. What really ties everything all together is this next tool that is very, very sneaky.
Wait, what? Wait, what's this random clip doing in here?
Everything all together is this next tool that is very, very sneaky.
But what does this guy do with anything, gang? What? What is that?
When you hear the word life insurance, it conjures up images like this. And for the average pleb, life insurance is exactly that. But
scam.
for the ultra wealthy, life insurance is this insanely powerful tool that they keep under wraps. There's a reason why the Rockefeller family has their own life insurance company, the Rockefeller Insurance Company. That's because for the ultra wealthy, they use life insurance as kind of like a bank account, but not just any ordinary bank account. They use life insurance as kind of like a...
All right, here you go. He bro dropping gems. Create a life insurance Good night. Have a good one. Good night. I appreciate you. Have a yeah. Holy shit. My voice sound like that. But now have a good night though. Finally my shit back on though. Alright, there you go. How to create an insurance company. So we can sell life insurance, get money. It'll be scam. Nah, there's too much to learn right now. I'm not gonna lie. I don't got time for this. I'm just trying to get rich. For sure.
Super bank accounts that can be used to invest tax-free. It sounds weird, but this is because all life insurance is a contract. A contract that has some very nice tax benefits. Because politicians don't want to tax the poor widow that just lost her husband. The problem is the traditional life insurance policies that are sold to the masses absolutely suck. They're made to enrich the insurance companies and not you. You buy a life insurance plan, you pay some money every month to your insurance company, and in exchange when you die, the company gives your family a couple $1 million. Nothing more, nothing less. So what the ultra wealthy do is they take this basic contract and they just negotiate better terms. And this allows the ultra wealthy to do something very, very special. They put as much money as they want into their life insurance policy, where it grows tax-free, and then they use that money that they put into the life insurance policy to invest in whatever they want. So their investments grow tax-free.
Your money's safe, it will grow the rest of your life, it will grow tax.
You need money to put in the life insurance. So how you get that money then? Interesting. I'm learning.
Tax deferred, you can use your money tax free, it will get passed on tax free. It has a lot of other benefits, and so what the wealthy use it is they don't use it as an investment. They use it as like a safe asset. I call it the and asset because they're able to give their dollars more than one job. And so they're able to do that while it's protected, while it's off the radar screen of the IRS because it's not considered income. That's how a lot of wealthy people use it. And then step number 3 is usually to take the money or to utilize the money. You're not withdrawing your money, what a lot of people do, because that would be in a lot of cases taxable upon gain. They're borrowing against it or using a third-party bank to borrow against their asset, and as a result, if you borrow against it, it's not considered income. So a lot of wealthy people like Elon Musk and all these people, they're borrowing against the equity in their businesses. Insurance, and when you max fund insurance, that's why a bunch of banks do this, is over 3,000 banks today
but I'm not gonna
have what's
lie,
called
though,
bank-owned life.
It's like, that's cool and all, but it gets to a point where it's like every single thing that you spend has to be documented in that situation. You got money and all, but you got to just calculate everything. Feel me? Every dollar is a write-off. Everything is a write-off. Everything is profit. Everything, even cash. So it's like, nah, I don't have to think about that. Just want to spend it. You know what I mean? You gotta like make sure everything's documented So you bought this at this time, keep that receipt, get that money back in a year. You know what I mean? It's too much work. It's too much work.
Insurance. Some of their safest assets in the bank is in bank-owned life insurance. Why do they do that? It's an asset that they can borrow against and key team members and employees. And so many institutions use life insurance not as a death benefit, but as an and as a place to store and use their money.
But not only that, just like a trust, the money that the rich put in their life insurance policies are also protected from creditors and legal penalties. But where things get really crazy is when the rich start borrowing money against their own life insurance policy, and then they use that money to invest in more assets. So basically what rich people do is they put, let's say, $1 million into their insurance policy, and that money in their insurance policy, they invest it into like the stock market or something, and it returns 7%. And the whole game is borrowing like 100K from that million at like a lower interest rate on your loan at like 3%.
So yes, that's exactly it. So in just very conservative.
Like what? You still have to get the $1 million first though. I mean, that's smart, but you still got to get the milli to borrow the milli. To borrow a 3% of the milli. Feel me? Damn. There's levels to this shit, gang. This shit ranked. This shit is really ranked, bro. Like, this is, bro, gang, this is ranked. You understand? Bro.
And the whole game is borrowing like 100K turns money in their insurance. What rich people do is life insurance policy, and then they use that money to invest in more assets, borrowing money from creditors and legal penalties. But where things get really crazy is when the rich start borrowing money against their own life insurance policy, and then they use that money to invest in more assets. So basically what rich people do is they put, let's say, $1 million into their insurance policy, and that money in their insurance policy, they invest it into like the stock market or something, and it returns 7%. And the whole game is borrowing like 100K from that million at like a lower interest rate on your loan at like 3%.
So yes, that's exactly.
Okay, I understand now. So, yeah, like a bank account or a trust fund, whatever. Invest money in there, make that shit grow. Use that money to invest in the stock. Dump all that shit in stock. Let that stock grow. Take that money. Do it again for more stocks. Let that shit grow. Keep doing it again. You know what I'm saying? And then borrow that money at a lower percent. That's what that nigga just said. You gotta actually be dedicated to do that shit though. Y'all niggas got it. You got it, gang. Me, I'm not doing all that, bro. You got it.
So in just very conservative numbers, if you borrowed at 5% and you earn 7%, your money in your insurance is continuing to grow and you're getting all the benefits of insurance. But on that borrowed at 5, earning 7, that's a 40% rate of return in the first year. So you're getting a 40% rate of return on that side. And people might say that doesn't make sense. You're becoming the bank. You're using arbitrage. Your investment is the 5%, not the full money, because your money's in your policy continuing to compound. So the same thing goes with making a greater rate of return. The benefit of this is having a dollar doing more than one thing, and the people that borrow against it, they have to make sure that their activities get a greater return than what the cost of borrowing. And if you can do that, you can really have a dollar doing more than one job.
But how does taking a loan out on your own?
The stocks and real estate would generate more than enough to be passive income. So then it will become the initial investment. It'll be more than $1 million. So basically, even though he dumped $1 million in a trust fund or in the life insurance, he has more than $1 million anyways to dump in there. So he's not really borrowing the million when he has the million anyways. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking smart. It's fucking smart, gang. Like, bro, it's literally, bro, that's fucking smart. That's smart. I understand it now.
Life insurance policy even work? Like, where do you even go to do that?
You could go right to the insurance company and they give you an unstructured loan, no questions asked, and you could just say, hey, I want a $200,000 lien. It's almost like a HELOC, but it's an unstructured. So when you go to a bank and get a loan, you have to pay that money back. In an insurance company, you don't have to pay that money back because they know that you're gonna die someday and they have that unilateral contract and they're paying upon your death. So the cool thing,
That's why insurance companies try to kill you. To get their money back. So what if I just buy life insurance and do this? Ask for a loan. Use that loan for a good investment. And you know what my investment is gonna be? In this. I'm gonna invest in this. So I can see my return. Use that return on this and stack it. I'm gonna do that again. But we gotta have money first to put in there. This is a documentary. Watch.
Is Jake, you have this outstanding loan, a $200,000 loan, you're doing things with it, and you never pay that money back. When you die, the insurance company is going to pay out your beneficiary, your family, minus what you owe them. So insurance is one of the only institutions that doesn't require you to have to pay back that loan because they're hedging both sides. They're hedging your mortality and they're also hedging interest rate. And
So
because
50-50.
they're a lifelong contract commitment, they're gonna last a lot longer than we live. They can play the ultimate long game. And so we call these loans, but they're just a more efficient way to use money. And you can decide if you wanna pay them back because it's either gonna come out of your legacy. Yeah,
Or
it's
your
either gonna come out of
family.
your legacy or out of your pocket while you're alive.
Makes sense. So when you say unstructured, that means that there's no like repayment terms. Like I don't have to.
You decide. Yeah, unstructured means
So get
you
the money
decide
back when I die.
when you pay
Give me
them,
200K
if
right
you
now, you
pay
get it back when I
them,
die.
how much interest you pay them, and you're
if you die
really in
later?
control because you are the owner of that contract.
But where it really ties everything back together is that when your kids die, you set it up so that the money that gets paid from their life insurance policy goes right back into the family trust.
When kids are born into the Rockefeller family, they buy a bunch of life insurance on them. And obviously the kids are able to buy things and
Right back to
continue
the
to
trust.
spend. But at
None
the
for
end of the
them.
day, when they die, they have a massive death benefit that goes back to the trust, replenishing the trust on what they spent during their life. So the way that a lot of people can incorporate something like this in their own life is each generation has life insurance and they have what's called max funded life insurance. And so they're using it for like a bank and they're using it to buy other things. And maybe some of them have outstanding loans. Well, what happens when the next generation dies and the death benefit gets paid? That death benefit could ultimately pay back your outstanding loan and you're getting all the benefits of compounding. So we call this the waterfall effect because if every generation had life insurance, you're almost guaranteeing every generation is going to be better off no matter what decisions they make during their life, because they're ultimately upon their death will reset
All that money,
the trust or the family fund, all while giving you control and access to use and invest all while you're alive.
And when Caleb realized that the ultra wealthy were doing all of this, he knew that he had to share it with the rest of us.
So you can think about this from a standpoint of from day one, you have safety, it's easily accessible, you have great growth rate, you're able to use it, there's built-in guarantees, and you're compounding your money tax-free. That gives you options for the future. And you have protections whether you die or you get really sick before. All that time, you have an asset that's continuing to compound for you. No other asset, no other paper asset gives you anywhere near those benefits, all while giving you control to do what you want with your money. That's what for me was like, oh, from day one, I can control my money and invest it and use it for whatever I want, and I get all the benefits. That for me was like, okay, more people need to hear about this because we haven't been told the truth as it relates to the power of this asset.
Which is why Caleb created Better Wealth, to take the strategies that the ultra wealthy uses and make them available to smaller fish like you and I. And if you think that this overfunded life insurance strategy is something that you would want to do, pause the video and to learn their financial, because at a certain point, buying and building
foundations.
At some point in building your empire, you're going to realize that you have literally too much money to spend. At a certain point, buying another mansion, supercar, private jet, even another decent investment is not going to change anything for you. And that is where the family foundation comes in. Ah yes, good old charity. You can create a foundation, put some of your money there, not get taxed on any of that money, and you'll still have control over it, wink wink. And there are many benefits to having a foundation. On one hand, your foundation will make you look all noble and generous.
That's why in charity, niggas be like, oh, the American Heart Association, because they own a percentage of that foundation. That's where they choose the foundation they want to give it to. St. Jude Foundation. The sponsor.
your wealth a little bit more palpable to the masses. He's a billionaire, but at least he's also a philanthropist. It's a good PR move. On the other hand, legally, you're only required to spend 5% of your foundation's money on charity every year. Only 5%. The rest you can use to hire family members and pay them a generous full-time salary. You can use it to get your name plastered on a university building.
The big thing is there's a lot of wealthy people in the news that are praised for giving most of their wealth away, okay? And it's amazing, and I think it's awesome that they're doing that, but they understand that if you donate or give your money away, it's, you know, you get a deduction. You don't have to pay taxes on that. So what the wealthy families do, instead of giving monies to charities that they don't have control of, they create their own private family foundation, which is their own nonprofit giving, essentially, and they're able to donate to that organization. Again, they're not donating to themselves because it's the foundation, it's its own entity, but I wonder who controls that entity, Jake? They do, their families do, and so they control these massive amounts of wealth, and they can ultimately decide where that money goes, what they do with that money, who the cost of running that foundation, and on and on and on. And so I'm not saying that wealthy families aren't charitable. That's not true at all. I'm just saying that they give strategically, they get a bunch of the deductions today, and they maintain control of that money, and they only have to give away a fraction, and part of the fraction of what they need to give away can ultimately get paid for operating the foundation. And so there's stories across the board of people that are being super generous with their foundations, people that are setting up private family foundations and barely giving anything away, but they're using it as another wrapper to look charitable, but to ultimately just control money. And so a lot of families have a foundation at the bottom of their structure because at the end of the day, all the money eventually will flow down to the foundation, and the foundation is another example of control entities, and it's another example, when set up and used properly, is an amazing legacy tool to pass on money to the next generation.
In Rockefeller's case, he didn't use foundations as just a way to control his money. No, he started the Rockefeller Foundation to mold society into his vision. He used the Rockefeller Foundation to create the modern-day education system as we know it. Click the card on the top right corner to watch that video, super good. He used his foundation to push modern Western medicine and vaccines, and to suppress other alternative forms of medicine. Video coming soon, make sure you subscribe. But what can you say? When you're a man that has it all, what is there left to do other than to change the world into whatever you believe it should be? And in terms of where your foundation is in your web of trust, insurance, corporations, etc., your family foundation is going to be at the very bottom of everything.
Well, it's at the bottom because a lot of times foundations are not a for-profit. It's not creating wealth. And so a lot of times the money is created. It's either created through ownership and investments. And so it usually, when it talks about flowing down, at the end of the day, a lot of time, the way that money gets into a private family foundation, it's either donated or flows from a trust. And so by default, foundations don't necessarily create a ton of income. They usually are an entity that you would flow or donate. An example of this is when Mark Zuckerberg donated a bunch of his wealth to his foundation. It's like, that's an example of he made all of his money by being an entrepreneur, and then he donated, and you have a ton of examples of this, of people donating to private family foundations.
And there you have it. At the top, the patriarch makes all the money. He then puts the money into trusts. The family members are a part of the trust, and they each get their own life insurance policies. Any extra money can be put into the family foundation for other strategic goals. And when the family members die, their death benefit from the life insurance goes right back into the trust to keep the family pot growing. And to manage all of this, you have what's called a family office. Basically a group of the best wealth management advisors to deal with this giant mess. And there's a reason you probably haven't heard about most of this.
The wealthy have tried to keep trust, foundations, insurance, all of this on the down low, mainly because, again, they don't want to create a spotlight to how they're controlling and passing on money. And so it's the same people that will create confusion in the education system. These are the same people that are saying life insurance is a horrible place to put your money. They know it's not an investment, but they love financial pundits saying that it is. And as a result, many people are just buying term, investing in the stock market, doing their thing, putting their head down, and are getting broker and broker every generation because they're not controlling and using their money like the wealthy. So one of the biggest reasons most people are not talking about this life insurance, even in our industry, is majority of people are not incentivized to do the right thing. So the reason why majority of life insurance policies policies are not set up like what I've been sharing with you, is it comes down to compensation and commission. We get paid about 1/10 of what a typical life insurance person would get paid for setting up a policy. The reason for that is we're trying to keep the policy as flexible and as overfunded as possible, and we get paid on what's called the base premium. And really the secret behind this is getting the base as small as possible and using other ways to front load and finance the policy. And so number one, the ultra wealthy don't want you to know this because they've been using these strategies for years upon years. But then a lot of the people in our space don't necessarily want you to know about this because they're making a lot of money selling typical life insurance policies for estate planning. And so the reason we're able to do this is we play the long game, and we essentially are saying, hey, we're gonna play the volume game. We're gonna do the right thing. We're gonna make money helping people set this up, but we know that we're just gonna serve a lot more people. And in the end, it's a great business for us to be in, but everyone that works with us gets an incredible policy that's super flexible, that is almost feels illegal to have.
So again, if you're interested in using life insurance in this manner, scroll down and click the link below to go to betterwealth.com/Jake to learn more. His team will get clear about where you're at and where you want to be to see if you would actually benefit from the strategy. And if this strategy would help you, they'll walk you through all the steps and help you get set up with everything. And keep in mind, Caleb was telling me how this strategy really only makes sense if you're able to save at least $10,000 a year, because there are some fixed costs that wouldn't make it make sense if you're only able to put in a few $100s a month. But if that is you, scroll down and click the link below to go to betterwealth.com/Jake to learn more.
Nah, that'll be streamed though. But what you mean though? What do you mean it wouldn't make sense? I put $100. Money game. But nah, that'll be streamed though.